Hey, welcome to today's live. Welcome back if you've been here before to this channel. Anyone watching the replay, I go live Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays. Please do join us, join the community, come along, just bring your questions and receive a free reading. Today we have a Love Oracle weekly, which is now, this has come off the back of this was successful and received well during the week of love, so I'm now trialing it to bring it back every Wednesday as a weekly session. So I hope you guys enjoy it. So just to let you know how it all works, I can see, thank you everyone for submitting your through the link. You're on the list, which I'll post soon. Hey to everyone in the chat. Hey Travel Other, Shan, Not Give a Damn, hey. Oh, Peter, lovely to see you all. Thank you for being here. So just a roll, you know, as usual, click the link in the pinned comment. Thank you to those who have already done that. Everyone today will be receiving 3 oracle cards. For anyone asking about kind of new love, what's coming in new love, I'll use these 2 decks. And then this deck over here is more for people who are in a no contact situation, have a specific person in mind, etc. Booked readings, more in depth, are still available. The link again is in the pinned comment. You can have more oracle cards if you would like, or you can do I've got the tarot cards here as well, which you might want to do because obviously you still have your oracle reading of 3 cards from there, so you might want the tarot. Hope that makes sense. Hey Anne. Now Anne has pre-booked a 3-card reading. So Anne, I've read your question, so thank you so much for submitting that. I'm up to date on that. I read it as soon as it came through. The only thing that was that it got cut off about the placements. If you're happy to share them in the chat, or I can just do that myself. But I know that you did have 3, it looked like you had 3 specific questions for each card, which I can do if you want to post them here. Let me know as well, because obviously you'll get your 3 oracle. Do you want your paid reading to be tarot, or do you want more oracle cards? So just to everyone who's on the list, just to reiterate, Anne has booked a reading, so she will be first. But whilst Anne's getting back to me on that, I'm going to post the list. Hey Devea. Excuse my arm in the camera. I don't know an elegant way to do this as yet. Thank you, Anne. So we have Anne booked. Then we can see Jean, Travel Lover, Lola, Janavi, then Anne for a free reading, Arpita, Danny, Not Give a Damn, and Shan, and Devea. If anyone does want a booked reading as well, if you want to go ahead and do that now, just so I know that that's in, and I can, it helps me account for time. And shall we go for tarot, Anne, because you've got your 3 oracle cards as well? There seems like so many questions here. Sorry. Hey Lola. And we're going with tarot, Anne, just confirm. Okay. Okay, so number 1, with what insights do the cards have regarding my path to love? Yeah. 2, what factors, internal or external, are influencing the timing? Okay, that's a good question. And advice for you regarding this. Yeah, awesome questions. Let's go. Spirit. Okay, take a deep breath, Anne. Be open to the messages meant for you today. Be open to the message that you're meant to receive. Spirit, please bring through the answers to Anne's questions. I'm excited to see what's going to come through for you, Anne. So, number 1, what insights do the cards have regarding your path to love? 6 of Voices. Turbulent time in the past, Anne, when we see this, which we know has happened. It's been rocky. It's been very up and down, much like, you know, I'm sort of seeing the image of this ocean, of the sea, you know, waves. We've got this large body of water here, and it makes me think of, always when I think of the 6 of Voices or the 6 of Swords, it's like choppy waters. So a lot ups but downs, yeah. You are transitioning. We know, again, we've seen, so this is confirmation about that you are in some transition into calmer waters, into a more peaceful way ahead. This card came earlier in one of our sessions, yeah, and I still feel like there is some surrounding energy here, which I don't want to ignore, about that. I feel like Raneal is still energetically connected to you, which is okay, but it's just how it's kind of influencing this situation, that bond. But also this card talks about help, or it feels like connections coming from unexpected places. Maybe that's as well what you've experienced in the past, yeah. And this has been this kind of lone warrior where we find ourselves in now, and having to walk this path. It's something we desire, it's something we want, and it's like we have to keep, it's almost like how you've chosen yourself, which has been the right thing to do, and it's like you've saved yourself, even though that was painful, and it's like you've given yourself the best chance to move into calmer waters and open yourselves up to new connections by making difficult decisions in the past, yeah, which it naturally kind of brings in periods of loneliness, and having to, you know, sometimes choosing yourself is choosing a period of loneliness, isn't it? Because we need to release connections or walk away from things. It doesn't mean you have to cut off these connections completely, but maybe how we thought they would develop, or what they would become. Because 6 of Voices as well is about ideas and mindsets about ourselves or about other people, how we saw them, how we viewed them, maybe how we thought things would unfold, and they've become outdated, and it's about leaving certain mindsets in the past, and having a different outlook. So that's where we find ourselves, yeah, with this question. So just to specifically go, I like to always reiterate the placement, because it's very important to me, maybe more than some readers. I'm very heavily influenced by the placement, is just as important as the message to me, okay, and to keep going back to that. So This is your regarding your path to love. I feel like maybe you feel like you've made some wrong turns because you find yourself alone at the moment, or have done in the past, but actually you're moving closer to what you desire and what you need by ending these connections that weren't going to give you what you needed. And these period of loneliness is that you keep choosing yourself because you're still looking for what's right for you. And I think a lot of us forget that, myself included, about kind of making these tough choices, about continuing to push for the best and hold on to the ideal and not settle. Often does, not just in love, but often does it involve periods of isolation and loneliness. I hope that makes sense. Second placement. We have, what factors, internal or external, are influence the timing of my love life? Queen of Inspiration. Inspiration is wands, so this is fire element, passion, heart's desires. I'm just channeling what's coming through. I want to get the message clear. So this is what's affecting the timing of your love life, okay? Now, the Queen of Inspiration, okay, is someone who, you know, when I think of timing and when I think of wands, wands is traditionally moves fast. So part of me wants to say that I feel like that the next chapter may come quicker than what you think, because there's something about you that is this is your energy, so this is what you're bringing to the situation. I feel with this Queen of Inspiration, where you do have this go-getter energy. So yes, you feel things deeply, you are passionate, but also the Queen of Inspiration isn't someone actually who, you know, she will make those tough decisions, and she's very determined, and she actually likes to keep things moving. Yeah, so moving on ultimately is what you've done, and that you will move on to that next chapter, and really through your kind of fiery energy. It doesn't really matter about you know, what your star sign is. You might have fire energy. I don't know if you know your astro chart, Anne, but there's this very driven energy that comes through from you that will keep driving this. You know, there's some people who just don't have that in them very strong to be able to pivot, be able to make changes, and be able to kind of make things happen. So the external, it's like an external and internal factors that are resonating here, that are coming through, and where it's like your ability to push on and to make this next chapter happen is what's going to bring this through, like I say, quicker than maybe what you would expect. It's interesting that I know that you feel like why it hasn't happened for you as yet. But there has been some strong connections, you know, that circumstantially have been wrong, as I understand, okay? But there has been love, there has been deep feelings, there has been deep connections. But you have made tough decisions, which I think, you know, we forget that maybe people who externally from the outside are in a relationship, in a marriage. But, you know, a lot of those people have actually settled for that connection. And made choices that maybe you wouldn't have. Yes, no idea. What do you mean by that, Anne? I hope. No idea. So anyway, this drive in you is what is going to make this happen and keeps you pushing on. You're not going to give up on this. You're not going to settle. You will keep trying and keep pivoting and keep opening yourself up to other directions. And the fact that it's wands, because this moves fast, that it's nearer to you than maybe what you think or you feel. But you're keeping that bar high. You're going for real love. You're not settling. That relates back to those periods of isolation. Okay, third card, last but not least, advice regarding this. Okay, I mean, the advice, let's dig deeper into this, but I would say this is such a positive quality in you. But to see both sides of that coin of what that brings, and that maybe other people who externally, you know, they're in a connection, they're in a marriage, that they don't have that same drive as you. Advice for me regarding this. This is about balance. So this is about staying. This card has come up for you before. I think did Temperance come through for you, which was about finding internal balance. Six of Materials is about balance. It's about reciprocity. It's understanding that that's what you want, is this equal connection, this mirrored connection of depth, of give and take. Again, it's like appearing here for you, the promise that it will happen. I feel like this person is smiling back. Obviously, it's the same person, but to me, it represents like a twin soul, a twin flame. It being mirrored back to you, what you want, what you feel, and that being possible. Now, I don't think there's any I don't feel that there's like a block in you about receiving. I feel like you are, check me on this if you're right, just because Six of Materials sometimes can bring up the issue of give and receive. But I think that's more just like what we've seen in the past, that for circumstantial reasons more than emotional reasons, that people haven't been able to give to you, obviously, in a relationship what's needed. So we see that this, I feel like this is just bringing through, this is what we're going for, okay? This is the aim, this is the goal, this kind of connection and the joy and happiness that that brings. And in a way, what we all need and what we all search for is this kind of balance. So in the meantime, what you can do whilst you're waiting, maybe not that long with this Queen of Inspiration, is to try to keep that balance in you. It is tricky when we're in a waiting period not to slip into feelings of lack and to get out of balance, doubt ourselves, doubt our process, doubt our past decisions, all of that. But if we try to zoom out and see the bigger picture, there isn't any mistakes that have been made. There's been tough decisions that have been made. But we've actually held this high standard for ourselves and are going for this. And this is the journey, this is the mission that we must continue on. And in order to bring that in, to manifest that, to bring that through, I don't know if you do manifest, Anne, but it's that same kind of vibe of just putting that out into the universe, that this is who I'm attracting. I do feel like this card mains messages, this is the other person that is out there. That it's always a nice image as well. What came through is like this person is looking for you just as much as you are looking for them. I think you'll recognize this person when you see them as well. There'll be a familiar face about them, which could be a past life connection as well. You know, when you see that person's face, you recognize it. I talked about this in the past session, I think. And that's what it looks like, that kind of energy between these two people. So Anne, I hope that resonated for you, brought through some clarity, brought for your questions. Keep doing this Queen of Inspiration energy. Keep holding that space. Thanks for your booking, Anne. And thank you, Janavi, for your booking. So I'm just going to try, I did this command thing. I don't know if it'll work. No. 1 second. Oh yeah, it did work. Amazing. You're welcome, Anne. So in order to get through, everyone, I'm going to actually close the list now because it's built up quite quickly. And anyone who would like a booked reading, this is the last call for priority booked readings, okay? And this is the list for the free readings. Okay, awesome. So Janavi, I'm just going to head over. Thank you for your booked reading. I'm going to go and head over now and check out the question there. Are we wanting tarot, Janavi? You obviously have your free oracle as well. And thanks to everyone who pre-booked. I appreciate that. It just helps, and I hope it makes it easy for you. It just means you can guarantee your spot and get in as early as possible as the lists get busier, really, which is great. But I also like to read for as many people as I can. Tarot for Janavi. Awesome. Right. And one more question. How are these later times that I'm doing? I'm mixing it up a bit. I don't know how people, I know it's early for people really early for people in the US. So probably the later the better for you guys. Just reading your question here, Janavi. Okay, interesting changes, Janavi. Exciting. Okay, let's go. So I'm going to do energy surrounding the new guy. This new guy seems like a nice guy, I think you mean. Then we're going to have a look about the move. I mean, is there a way that, do we have to make a decision now? This is just me talking. You know, can we wait to see what happens with the visa situation? Let's take it that you will get the visa. Okay, and then what decision, you know, if that's the situation, what do we do with that, if that makes sense? The future energies. So this is him. Oh yeah, we have the 10 of emotions. So my parents are kind of hinting to drop visa idea and marry this new guy. Okay, I don't want to stop with this major career move. I told them to wait until visa result. Yeah, which I think is totally understandable, just and fair to ask that. So, but very good energy come through with this new guy. So you're on point with that. This obviously doesn't mean that you have to proceed with this. It's just like that it's a good, there is good energy surrounding this connection. 10 of emotions is about some kind of emotional fulfillment being on the table here. We have all these beautiful colours, which I'm always drawn to with this card. It's similar to, you know, if we think of the 10 of Pentacles, which is, there's some longevity to this. There is potential for this to go the distance for commitment. And that it would bring some happiness, yeah? Which is interesting. So this comes through strong. Just seeing if anything else comes through. But it is, I'm interested to see what the other cards are, to see what else we can get from this. But starting off very positive with his energy, the potential, we are at the potential point here. But, you know, this is a very positive omen. This is good energy. This talks about, you know, there is some happiness, there is joy, there is some emotional fulfillment that is on the table here. So this card is, so if we see the visa come through, if that happens, what's the advice, what's the energy around that, the choice? Oh, 7 of inspiration. This is you holding space. Okay, taking a lot of energy. This is about like a boundary here, which is interesting. 7 of inspiration, traditionally it's kind of like, you know, fighting for your space, fighting for what you want. I know you did touch on about your parents are hinting to drop this idea, so there'll be maybe some kind of battle here about you not folding on this, if this is your true desire and what you want. Because this is what you want, this passion here, this inspiration is one, so it's our heart's desires. So maybe not to be, is there a time frame of, like, say if the visa comes through, is that like that, you know, that ball is rolling, and it's like how much time do you get to have one foot in each space? Because this feels like it's almost telling you to, I feel like the message is almost, we're trying to buy some time here for you, where you need to hold this space to actually really tap in and check into how you feel and what you want. Like you say, the US is obviously connections to Akshay, but that doesn't mean that there aren't other people there. You know, it's a whole bigger thing, isn't it, about your journey and your career and your life. And if it feels like you know, sacrificing that, then that is not, this is you fighting for what you want and not folding, holding space, like really having to dig in. And it depends, I guess, how strongly you feel this. It feels pretty strong in this card because we're really kind of doubling down on going for what we want. So it feels like Spirit's kind of saying, if you feel this, then, you know, it's going to be maybe a bit of a battle to kind of insist on that, to really in a way have that confidence in yourself as well, to not give in to. Isn't it ironic, you know, that now just the timing of this happens, in the sense of like, if this visa comes through, then why does the universe do this? Then it brings through this opportunity to come through. Exactly, your move to the US is not just for Akshay, it's a complete life shift. Exactly. So if this is the drive, this is the desire, then, you know, this is what we need to hold space for. That's what I feel like, despite what these, you know, unless that shifts, unless you get a chance to know this person a bit more, and then you'd think, yeah, God is testing you. It can feel like that in a way. Let's see what the future energies hold. Oh, still this Muse of Voices, having to make tough choices, Janavi. You will, I feel like it will be like, there's almost like there's something to gain. This is always when we face these decisions, there is something to gain and something to lose on both sides, whichever decision that you make with this. The King of Swords, or the Muse of Voices, is like, has to be ruthless. I was listening to another tarot reader the other day, and they described this card of, you know, as being very ruthless, and they used the word like that you will need to be diabolical, which is like a strong word, but it's almost like having to make some really kind of cutthroat decisions of what is best for you, and cut something off either way, which obviously in a move like this, it brings that kind of energy with it, isn't it? You know, the distance from family, the huge shift that a move makes. So there is to recap, there is potential here for a real connection, for some emotional fulfillment is on the table with this connection. So what you're feeling that this person is bringing good energy, that feels correct, that feels right. This is one path. I mean, the good thing is it's good to have choices, Janavi, is what I would say. Now, regarding the move, if it comes through, you know, the decision may be made for you if the visa doesn't happen, but if it does, then we're faced with this tough decision. Spirit says you really need to hold space for what you truly want, despite what is going on with this connection, despite what is going on with parents or other people around you. Maybe moving to the US will be the tougher decision, but you may feel again that this is, you know, like you say, it's such a big life shift. This is something that you've wanted for some time and put effort and energy and focus into. And if this is what you want, then we need to hold this space for that and shut out those voices, both within ourselves and externally. Yeah, they're not telling you. So guides are not suggesting what I need to do. They're leaving it to my decision. With this King of Swords here, yeah, tough decision that you'll be faced with. I don't feel like either decision would be bad. They both have things to gain and things to lose. Does this make the decision harder for you? You know, I don't do yes, no. So tell me one more about, what I will ask is one more about, say, the move to the US. If you did do that, what would that bring? Four of Voices, interestingly, this is kind of like a card of rest and recuperation. Maybe it will feel like a breath of fresh air to you. We see this person who is, there is romance on the other side. We have rose petals here. There is someone in the picture, so there is, if that's Akshay or someone else, there is romance on the other side of the pond, or whatever you would call it, in the US. Exactly, free will, as Shan says. And this is about a vision, I think, that you've been holding for some time, manifesting for some time, and that coming into fruition, that coming into reality. You see how this person is kind of daydreaming? This vision, this that you've been holding. So yeah, there are good things on both sides, but there are losses on both sides, but neither is wrong. There's almost not a wrong choice that you can make here. And the main thing, main message from Spirit is, yeah, so we have difficult choices ahead. And it's not going to be easy, but you need to hold space for what you really want. And it sounds like what you really want is to go to the US. That could change if you do get a chance to this connection deepened in that time. But I think it's about holding space for what you really want, which sounds like the US. I hope that resonated, Janovi. Okay. Back to the list, guys. Thank you. So I don't think Jean is here. She is number 1 on the list. But I don't think she's here. So we have Jean, then we have Travel Lover. That would be amazing. That's so nice of you, Shan, there to offer that. Imagine if there was a meetup. Okay, awesome. Travel Lover, thank you. When will Steve think to just connect with me? He ruminates a lot, yeah. Especially because he wants control, win, and is egocentric. He had to move in with newly widowed mom. Okay. So timelines is not really my thing. If I do get a sense of a timeline, I'll share that. But kind of yes, no timelines is not what I do with regards to just the question, when will Steve think to contact with me? But we can certainly do an energy check-in with where is that now, Travel Lover, if that's fine with you. Steve's energy regarding reaching out, okay? Like, where is he at with that? And what would he say? These sort of very clear, this deck always, what would Steve say if he could, or if he would? Inner peace. You are enough. Interesting message. Interested in you. Blooming romance. Flirting. Want to date. I lost myself for a little while. A few messages here. I think a reminder for you, travel lover. I don't know if the way Steve is behaving, has behaved, has made you question about if your self-worth and about if you were enough. And that coming through to say, you know, that you are. Also see this person who is writing in their journal, which makes me as well think about manifesting and writing down your desires and getting aligned here. There's something about, we have here like the tapping into universal energies, which again kind of speaks about manifestation. So this card feels more about you that's come through. But then we have their energy, so Steve's energy, still interested in you. Blooming romance, flirting, wanting to date. So there's still, every time we tap into Steve's energy, there are still feelings for you. There is still a connection here for you. I lost myself for a little while, which we do know, yeah, that he got, I think came through in the last reading as well. Do we have a timeline? Do we have a what's the block? It's almost like maybe he's working on still coming back to himself, I think, with this card. What you need to do in the meantime, whilst we're waiting for contact to come through, is just stay strong in the manifestation, stay strong in the positive mindset. Don't let it wear down your self-worth. Ooh. And then we have, yeah, so Eight of Voices again is about anxieties, worries, fears being unfounded. Travel lover. He told me a gorgeous woman contacted him. Okay, as if I'm chopped liver. Okay, so he has chipped away at the self-worth there for sure, travel lover. And he's obviously only saying that to get like a rise out of you, yeah? I hope you know that that's like intentional, yeah? You have strong self-esteem and pick love over ego. Okay, so that's good. So this is anxieties, worries, fears, whatever that is for you. Maybe it's that this is over or that this is the end of connection. But this tells me that these fears are unfounded, because the Eight of Voices is like some kind of self-imposed prison as well, about kind of going to that worst case scenario. This could also be Steve, if he's not in the greatest of headspaces now. He's maybe over, could be the block as well, is that he's kind of overthinking this situation. This being connected to, I lost myself for a little while here. I don't know if there's some anxiety issues here for him, some mental health issues, depression. I don't know if he's had a tricky time and is still in that. That can be influencing the situation as well. But anyway, that message is confirmation. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, in regards to your fears and worries about how this is going to unfold is unfounded. But it's also something about, which I'm picking up on, Steve is in some kind of self-imposed prison with his own mind about something. And that's connected to how he lost himself. We do see feelings still here for you. And this is you staying strong in your alignment about manifesting what you want and holding space for that. I mean, obviously the question is, I'm glad that you can ignore those stupid remarks, Traveller, because that is exactly what that is. It's just a jibe, isn't it? So there's still that stuck energy that we get from Steve, which is obviously manifesting about there are feelings there. But there's also a block there with that eight of swords it was, which doesn't feel connected to you. It feels like about something in his own mind that he's battling. So, Janavi, do you want me to take you off the list? Is that right? Hey, Lola, thank you so much. Janavi, just let me know. You might have gone now. Let me know if you want to be taken off the list still. Lola asks, good morning, Mom. Please, love oracle message from Joey. Leo, yeah, no contact. Sure thing, Janavi. Right, Lola. Joey's energy. I know last time, Lola, we saw there was like that devil energy around, wasn't there? Be interesting to see what comes through. And that was the block. Oh, that one literally jumped off the pack there, so I'll have to take that. Oh, Luke, didn't this card come through for you last time, Lola? I feel like it did. I really feel, and that this was how Joey was seeing you, still very much in this positive light. This is your energy for sure, Lola. This is you. This is this, you know, luminosity. I'm almost 100% sure that this came through last time. That's crazy. So this is just reiterating that message to very much, I suppose, that he still sees you like this. There are still feelings here. He still sees you as beautiful, as attractive, you know, have that inner light. There's also a kind of purity here as well. So maybe there's like that, there's a purity in the connection between you. It's almost like that you're on a pedestal now, even in this no contact. I don't know if it's because he's in the messiness of the devil energy and you kind of represent this a pure connection, a more straightforward and simple connection that's kind of there. Can't get to it, but wanting to. Butterfly, there's a transformation happening, which is good. So we're evolving and growing. Next phase is on the horizon, which is good to see. Whenever we see a butterfly, this is a sign of transformation. So this can be happening within Joey as well. Maybe he's beginning to make moves. We'll see what these cards say, but beginning to make moves and free himself from that devil energy that we saw, releasing the past, healing inner child. So this is good stuff. You may be as well, Lola, going through your own transformation in this no contact period. Let me know if that resonates as well. What changes are you feeling? Are you seeing? You will be also evolving and growing in this space, okay, in this no contact space. Have this. Again, there's a lot of guys out there who have lost themselves. So yeah, he sure did lose himself for a little while and may still be in that energy. You're very welcome, travel lover. But Joey did lose themselves for a little while. Still could be in that energy, but it's coming to the realization, I think, like with this butterfly, there's some kind of shifts happening. I think maybe about not wanting to keep understanding now that he is repeating a cycle in this devil energy. And he's getting to that point where they are ready for change. Okay, they are getting tired. They are getting frustrated themselves now with this. Can imagine obviously that you were very frustrated, but now he's beginning to tire of this, because then we have I want to be more than friends. So yeah, so this and this, the want to be more than friends, you're kind of on a pedestal. Let's say you represent that pure connection without so much messiness. Did you get this one as well? So this is spirit just shows, doesn't it? I always like it when the same cards come through. It just like confirms to me, you know, that I know these messages are true and real, but it's like spirit goes, do you remember I told you that, you know, this is how it still stands as well. And it's maybe asking us to really believe in the messages as well, because they need to say them again. Nice, really pretty positive there, Lola, I would say. I know it's a difficult situation, but it's actually the main positive thing that I like from this spread is the butterfly, because that tells me that there's some shift and there's some change. Hope that resonated. Thanks, Jarvi. How will Akshay react when I tell him about this new guy? Has the contact shifted yet with Akshay, Janavi? You don't have to share that if you don't want to. Whoa, jumping out. That's how he will react. He will want to remind you that you are soulmates. I like these images. They're kind of quite sort of childlike in a way, but they're so sort of straight to the point, like all oracle cards, but you know, really so vibrant. Yeah, every one of them. Twin flames, soulmates, karmic connection, You know, he does know that, doesn't he? He does know that. And I think he'll want to lay that on thick. Still blocked. Well, not for long. Not for long. Oh, the butterfly again, how interesting. So we touched on that obviously with Lola Janavi, but there is a change happening here. But obviously going back to the question, this is about how will Akshay react when I tell him about the new guys. So this could be, it could instigate some change in Akshay. Evolving, growing, next phase. So it will instigate some change. Oh, and then we see also, look, butterfly, butterfly. Again, this will, so when he finds this out, it could give him a wake-up call. We have all these hearts here as well. You know, this sort of release of emotion that I feel like from that as well. What would Akshay say about this new connection? I will wait for a sign from you. So this feels like maybe there's something in this as well, obviously through, then you have, I mean, you've always had options, yeah? You've always had choices, which you have been changing and growing throughout this, but I think it will make Akshay realise this. I will wait for a sign from you. So it's like a bit more like, okay, you know, this is not over to you kind of energy, yeah? What will you decide? What do you want? Which is interesting. Put it back on you in a way as well. Anyway, I feel like good, ultimately it will kind of give them a bit of a kick, Akshay, and that this butterfly is representation of some kind of change, disruption, that will be a good thing. It feels like it will release some emotions that have been buried. We have seen that last time, in a way, what brought on this block was kind of a deepening of, you know, feelings getting in too deep. And this in a different way, I feel like when they find out this, that it will instigate some change in them, maybe shift their actions about what they want, push them towards you more. How are they going to handle this one, you know? It will shake things up for him. Hope that resonated, Janavi. Oh, Janavi says, I feel that this is my peak free will phase. Okay, God asking me to decide and fight for what I want. Yeah. And it's tough, isn't it, to be in that? It is tough to fight for what we want, but it's also has that exhilaration of free will, particularly if you know what you want. It's kind of terrifying and exhilarating to really go for what it is that you want. You're welcome. So Anne, thank you, my dear, asks, what is Ranil's current energy towards me in this no contact situation? Yeah, we saw him in that. I felt his energy in that Six of Swords, Anne. But let's see, let's dig deeper into that. Are you into telepathy as well? Terrifying and exhilarating, yeah. I do have my psychic moments. What would Ranil say right now if he could to Anne? Oof, interested to know what this is. Oh, life purpose, look at that. Big energy, strong energy. I'm going to see what the other cards are. I feel like this is you. This is again like how I think he feels that like you've made this decision, like understanding that this decision that you made was about your life's purpose and your life's path. But he's also still very much feeling you energetically because you were giving off such this strong vibe. You've got an open heart, and I think that there's some kind of maybe inner peace that I know you do have the frustrations as well going on, but there's also a deeper kind of inner peace somewhere that has shifted, that has been gained. I think he feels the love from you. He still feels that you, look at these doves here. This is like, again, this kind of soulmate, twin flame. There is still a lot of feelings of love here. There's a groundedness and stillness that he sees in you and feels from you. Still feels a lot of love for you and is still energetically connected to you. Didn't we have this card last time? Or I feel like, tell me if I'm wrong, I feel like this may have come through for you in the last oracle session, Anne. Unconditional love, giving and receiving, fairness and love, affection return. So this is more of the same, you know, unconditional love, I think, being the main message that comes through here. I wish I could take back my words. This reminds me a bit more of that. He came through as the King of Swords, which is some kind of angst ridden as well. Like he was trying to, there was some regret, wasn't there? So obviously I don't know what exactly was said on his side. No, this didn't come through. That must have been someone else, sorry. But it's here today. So they have some regrets. That King of Swords, I remember, had their head in their hands. There was this kind of furrowed brow energy. So they do feel kind of torn. A lot of love there still, Anne, which is kind of painful, yeah? Considering the circumstance, I imagine. I guess really that they still want to be in connection with you, with this regret. But also understand this, which we've seen in the past again, this kind of boundary that you've set and respecting that also. I hope that resonated for you, Anne. So Tia, there's a few people who haven't showed up, so if you want to hang on, I may be able to add you on for the free reading at the end if you've got time. Obviously I can't guarantee it, but it's up to you. Peter, my love, are you here? So we have next on the list, just so we know where we're at, Peter, Danny. I'll post the list again, actually, that makes more sense. Yeah, I can understand, Anne. Maybe hold that boundary. Well, obviously free will, hold that boundary for now. But this session seems to be all about free will. Hey Danny, thank you for confirming. So Danny, go ahead, post your question, my love. Thank you, Lola. Danny, post your question. Or Peter, if you are here, please post your question. Hey, Peter. Go for it, Peter, post your question as well. I'll read for you after Danny. So, Danny asks, I'm currently talking to a Pisces man named Lance. Yes, I feel like I've heard of Lance before. I would like to know an update on his current feelings for you. Absolutely. We live in different states, okay, but talk every day. That's tricky long distance, isn't it? But people make it work. Let's have a look at Lance's feelings towards you, Danny. Anyone here, I'll just say this before I read for Danny, if you want to guarantee for the next session on Friday, you can go ahead and get on the list now. And then obviously if you just come when we start, then it's like you just know that you've got your guaranteed reading there and that you're on the list. So I'm just trying to sort of, so you know the times and you know the readings. I'm now trying to aim to do the week ahead, a week in advance, yeah, so people know if they can make it, so they kind of can schedule it in their diaries. Okay, Danny, let's go. Lance the Pisces, those tricky Pisces. I like Pisces energy, actually. The dreamers. The dreamer Pisces. Remind me what you are, Danny. What star sign? You're welcome, Shan. Sagittarius. Interesting. Boundaries. So, his current feelings for you. Now, Danny, are you... Oh, Taurus moon, that's lovely. That's lovely. Very warm, stable position for the moon there. There's a strong boundary coming through. Are you that boundary person, Danny? Because we are looking at their feelings towards you. And that's what came through to me. I don't know if you have... It's not necessarily a bad thing, but you are well guarded, okay, here. You've got a fierce tiger at the gate. You know, you've got the gate. You've got a fierce tiger at the gate. You've got some savviness, some wisdom here for sure, through past experiences, what you've been through. You know, you have lived a life. And then we've got this shield and a spear protecting your heart. And there's no kind of like, you know, then we have this kind of peaceful face, peaceful expression, as in like, you know, I come in peace, but incredibly well guarded. I'm picking up on someone's energy. Tell me if it resonates with you, or is it this, or is it Lance? I initially feel like I'm drawn to it being you. And this is how they feel about maybe struggling to get close to you. Obviously, there is the practical distance as well, but it doesn't feel connected to that. That, I suppose it's an extra boundary, that distance, okay? Because then we have this card, blowing kisses. There is, you know, unconditional love. Obviously, this is, I don't know how long you've known each other, but there are feelings of love here despite this, despite circumstances. There is giving and receiving, fairness and love, affection returned, all nice good feelings here coming through. So they are feeling the good vibes. So you tend to be more forward with your emotions and expectations than he does, I think. Okay. So despite that, like I say, it may be him that I'm picking up on. So despite that kind of forwardness with emotions and expectations, there still could be like, I don't know how, maybe it does take you a long time to let someone in close to you. Or like I say, I could be picking up on his. So either way, this person, whoever is the one who's super boundaried, comes in peace, but there is like time really with this person, trust. It really is just a question of time. I think it's both of us. Okay, that makes sense why I'm not getting a clear, you know, why I'm getting that in a way that it's, could be either of you. Yeah. I may be more guarded. We met online 2018, met in person in 2023. Wow, okay, so that took you a long time, yeah? To actually meet in person for that to develop. So that's still going on. It's easier obviously as well when there's distance to kind of keep that distance, emotional distance as well. Someone said that if I don't know if you do manifest, Danny, but how when we attract long-term distant relationships, that we actually have that emotional, that's almost a representation in the 3D of actually keeping people at a distance as well emotionally, and that manifests into the 3D, which I thought was very interesting and kind of stuck with me. Oh, wow. And then could there not be a clearer message for you? I love you. So both these feelings, despite kind of how things have, you have known each other for some time now. Online, you have met, but also online connections, we can have those feelings of love for sure. It can build like that. So there is that feelings of love here from Lance. There's no question of that. The only block is this boundaries. Maybe there's a bit of an impasse because you are both very guarded. So it's a bit like who's gonna take down the shield, because at some point, if you want things to progress, if you're happy with how things are now, maybe that distance is okay. Maybe that works for you both. It doesn't have to be that we even change things, but if you want things to develop and want things to change and deepen and get closer, then there is an impasse here because you are both so guarded. But the feelings are here for sure for Lance anyway. So confirmation for you on that, Danny. Okay, so Arpita, my love, if you want to post your question, please do. Then we have, so not give is here, if you are here, sorry. Shan, Devea and Country. Please just give me a shout out at this time of who is here. I always have to keep the list quite short, I think, with this, because people are getting 3 card readings, and then obviously booked readings affects the time as well. You're welcome, Danny. Keep us posted. Thank you, not give. Hey, Shan. I'll read for Arpita, not give. Then Shan. Hey, Country. Devea. I don't know if you're still here, Devea. Anyway, I will read for Arpita. So this is Arpita. This is just a love reading, just to, because it's slightly different. I don't know if you saw, if you're happy with that, because it's a love only readings today, because we're using the Love Oracle. Do you want to know what's coming next in love? Do you have a love question? Are you, just remind me if you're in a connection, single? Single now. Awesome. So I'm going to leave out this one because this is messages from a specific person, and I'll take 2 from there. What's next in love for Arpita, please? Or what does Spirit want you to know regarding your love life? Oh, the Divine Feminine. Oh, I'll have to cover up that. YouTube does not like. Tapping into your Divine Feminine energy, Arpita. That sense of flow to me that always the Divine Feminine talks about, that they bring. Let's see what the rest of the cards are. I'm just covering that because YouTube doesn't like that. The Dragonfly, light-hearted, and adapt. Interesting. Finding out and change. Things coming to light and healing. Oh, and then love, the promise that love is on its way, unconditional love. Also self-love and wholeness, affection and attraction, selflessness. So these are the things that we need to work on in order to, if you are wanting this, of course, Peter, to usher in love, to usher in if that is something that you would like. The divine feminine being, it's all about nurturing. We see how this feminine is really kind of like a tree, and it's about how it brings it bears fruit. So aligning with that within ourselves, which however we decide to practice that in looking after ourselves, in self-care, in doing the things, checking in and doing those things that we just enjoy for enjoyment's sake. That's often what I think sometimes the divine feminine, there doesn't have to be this like end goal and purpose. And maybe even just spending time with those people without, in order to, in ways to kind of meet a connection, but also without that pressure. Like masculine energy, which is more in its toxic state, more is always about pushing, like only doing something that for like to reach some kind of goal, if that makes sense, to produce something. But the divine feminine just does things for the sake of enjoyment, for just doing them. And in that process, we, nurture ourselves, water the flowers, not the weeds. We bear fruit from these situations. Kind of almost like just what we want just naturally kind of occurs as we're living life. I am doing my work. I don't know when this is going to happen, coming into divine feminine energy. Well, as long as you're doing the work, that's all that we can do. How to do this? Again, the dragonfly energy, I feel like it's come through. This light-hearted energy, so not for it to be too heavy. I don't know, when you say you're doing the work, if you're again too much pressure on yourself, we can do the work. The work can be fun, the work can be light-hearted, can be a light touch, can just be doing the things that we enjoy, again without it having to have so much heavy purpose. And this will bring change, and this will bring a lightness, and this will bring a healing if there are old wounds. Yeah, enjoy the process. I'm like that too. I tend to go at things like too heavily, too intensely at times. And you can get a lot done, but there's also like, we need to live our lives instead of just always pushing for the future and the next goal. We're all kind of conditioned that way, and it's hard to snap out of that, but I suppose it's about being in the present moment. And then it's like working yourself step by step in those directions. I almost feel like organically then maybe a love will grow between you and a person who you just kind of cross paths with, who a friendship turns into love, or this kind of just comes through to you like a river flowing through. It has that kind of energy. Affection and attraction. So I don't know if there's someone in the energy field, Peter. I don't know if that's what I'm picking up on, just with this coming through particularly. Affection and attraction, if that's in the picture, maybe already a friendship connection that has the potential, if it can be approached with this kind of energy, to develop into unconditional love. But well, let's not kill the vibe or the energy. Yeah, we're putting too much pressure on it. I don't know if there is anyone, like you're saying, that this could be now There is one crush, okay? So that's maybe who that I'm picking up on, because I feel like it's like this crush, okay? It's like it just try and enjoy that and have that light touch with it, but it's no contact for now, okay? Well, if not them, someone better then, okay? You still need to bring this energy to it, so I hope that resonates. Like you say, something about enjoying the process more will bring this closer to you. Will bring it through quicker. Okay. Not give, you have posted, so just give me a high five if you are still here. Not give. Message retracted. Thank you, not give. Supriya, you, and Azhar, him. Will we reconcile? What is his energy currently? Any remorse or regrets of his actions? You're welcome, Peter. No contact situation. Thanks, not give. Nice bit of context there. Thank you. Azal's energy. What is going on for them? Oh, I think my cat is going to come and say hello. Oh no, he decided not to. Oh, I'll leave that out. There's that soulmate card again, not give. So yes, I would say some regrets and remorse here, because this tells me energetically that there is still this strong connection. Obviously, when we see soulmates, this confirms to us, okay, that this is on both sides, this connection, okay? It's mirrored, the depth of feeling. We have the ship, cutting ties, moving on, receiving what you need, progression and arriving. So this is who cut the tie. I don't know if that was you or him, as in cut the tie being just the situation that you're in now, temporarily maybe, but in this no contact. That they are maybe feeling that through this cutting tie that you are moving on. Let's see what they would say. Oh, I am grateful for the spiritual lesson. So this is about them, again, I feel like kind of reiterating that they messed up. I mean, I feel like this is kind of like a nice way of putting it, okay, when it comes to this, I'm grateful for the spiritual lesson. I feel like gratitude is maybe too much of a stronger word. It's more just like that they are feeling that pinch of karma. They kind of get it now through the no contact. Okay, so if that's like you holding that boundary, yeah, with this ship energy, you, even though if emotionally you are still connected, okay, we're still, this soulmate energy is still here. Again, this butterfly is telling me that there is a transformation happening here. So there is change happening in this no contact space that we find ourselves in, yeah? Because it's not, no contact isn't stagnant, okay? There's stuff going on for you, there's stuff going on for them, there's internal changes, there's external changes that could all happen, okay? So this, energetically, this connection is still growing and changing. So they feel that pinch of you cutting the time, moving on, go receive what you need. So I feel like that's more like you going for what you want more and what you need and saying this isn't enough. Maybe doing it to see how that they would respond. Am I right with that? That you, I don't know if you're looking for, you know, you did say if we will reconcile. So maybe you put this no contact to kind of force change. And I do see that that change is happening behind the scenes. And your question being if they have remorse or regrets, and I do see that coming through because they see that soulmate connection, the butterfly of transformation, and then this gratitude, you know, for the spiritual lesson. But I would say more like the pinch of that spiritual lesson. There's some kind of discomfort or pain or yeah, not happy about it, okay? Would obviously take more cards to dig into, you know, when that change would come, like what action will this push them to contact you if that's an option. But it's giving us a snapshot of currently what's going on, and I do feel that they will miss you and that they will feel the pain of their regrets, okay? It's had the you know, that the butterfly effect. Yeah, you cut ties with, yeah. So that was the right thing to do, and it has actually caused some kind of domino effect there. So you did the right thing in doing that. Hold that line and let's see with regards to, you know, if this will push them into getting more serious about this, because we do have this soulmate energy, which tells me that there is some deep feelings, however much he was presenting himself to you, like you say, this nonchalant behavior, taking you for granted, yeah, when actually there was some real feelings there for him as well. Hopefully this will push him to see that change. Keep us posted. So Shan, my dear, thank you for waiting patiently. If you want to post your question, Shan. Devea, if you are still here. And then we have Country, and then we have Tiabia. Thank you, Shan. Shan would like to know, would like to get my spirit and oracle messages on my love path. Sure. I have a few options that I am in contact with. Okay, interesting. But none seem to reach my vibration. Am I too picky? Interesting. There's no such thing as too picky, Shan. Just high standards. Let's see what Spirit has to say. I'm going to use one of these cards as well in case any of your particular suitors have something to say to you, and I feel like you may recognise the message when they come through, if that makes sense, okay? Thanks, Country, for letting me know that you're still here. Thank you for still being here. What does Spirit want to tell you, Shan? I'm excited. I'm intrigued. Oof, there is you, sacred woman. Not being picky, but just knowing her self-worth. I feel like this has come through for you before, similar messages. Look how strong and powerful that you are. This has very, we have the buffalo, which talks about being in an abundant mindset as well, an abundant energy. I know you said you have a few options as well, so does it feel abundant, or doesn't necessarily have to convert to that? Holding this space, holding that energy though, being strong in the stance that you're in, and this feels like that you are, there's a heart here, so your heart is open. So there isn't an issue there. I feel like your heart is open to the right kind of love, which is nice confirmation. You have a lot to offer. You know yourself. You have a good understanding about what you want. And yeah, it's almost like the heart is here, you know, it's like the heart is open, the energy is open. We have the abundant buffalo here. As long as we can stay in that abundant energy, that's good. So you've learned to love yourself and feeling abundant. Feels like this is confirmation for you. And in the background there's a dream catcher, again about sort of, I kind of feel like the dream relationship, in a way that the dream catcher is there as well. That's to hold on to your dream and maintain that high standard. Oh, we have a shock, sudden change, shocking news, surprise and epiphany, transformation. This is you being hit by feelings, okay? Some connection will come through that will, let me know if this has happened. I feel like this is probably upcoming energy, that like this shock, it's like love can feel like a electric shock in a way. It's like that chemistry, that electricity that I'm feeling. So this is sudden change. It's like suddenly someone will break through from the pack, if that makes sense, okay, that it'll become apparent that, and then all these other suitors won't matter. Let me know if you know who this person is, or this person is coming through. It sounds like this person is more like this is going to happen. It's on its way to you. You've got a dream catcher. Oh, and then we have I love you. What great cards. What great cards. So you know, love, when it does hit us, can hit hard, yeah, can like blindside us as well. Just confirm to me that this, okay, you know who this is. Can this progress? Is this something? So this shock of this chemistry, this strong attraction, I love all of them. But there's one person, so someone loves you though as well, because this is messages, you know, from them looking at that. So I love you. So is the ball in your court of who you give your love to then? I mean, this card tells me that your heart is open. Okay. He's younger but waiting to see his response. So there is someone particular who stands out from the crowd. Doesn't matter about age. As long as we're all consenting adults, then age is just a number in my mind. So yeah, there is a transformation on its way to you. Some kind of shocking news that is coming through, but I feel like it's positive shocking news, because then we also have this confirmation of I love you. So it's on its way to you, Shan. It's on its way to you. Keep us posted. Okay, country, my dear, if you want to post, yeah, claim it, Shan. Devea and Tibia, please. Country, I don't know if you have you posted. Thank you, Devea. Thank you. I'll read for Devea as you've posted your question. Country, please go ahead. I think you are still here. Go ahead and post. Thank you. Devea, this is for you. Do I have any romantic relationship coming in? Been single for a long time. New love, please, Spirit. What's happening for Devea in love? Yes, we do have someone coming in. Doesn't matter about gender, etc. You know, when this comes through, it's just the energy that it brings. Chivalry. But look, they have an offering here of love represented by this bouquet of flowers. They have good energy, okay? They mean business. I think this is definitely just someone's energy coming through. A particular person here that is on the cards, that is in the future for you, Devea. And they understand, I think, like the importance of, like, for want of a better expression, like wining and dining someone. So dating, you know, someone who is maybe quite formal in their energy, maybe quite like friendly but reserved. They won't rush in, okay? That kind of energy that they bring, they're quite proper. You know, just that word chivalry. It's like that they'll want to get to know you, they'll want to take you out for dates. They could also be financially stable, just looking at the way that they are dressed. Just this horse and this, I know it's kind of almost childlike, these drawings, but they still have these important messages that there's financial stability here as well. They kind of have a life, yeah. A karmic relationship. So let me know, this could be this person that once this relationship deepens, that it becomes this karmic relationship. Now, karmic relationship can often like freak people out when they see it, because it can trigger us, but also it can just be, you know, when we're very close to someone and very deep relationship and it is karmic by nature, there are a lot of lessons to be learned from each other. It's not necessarily like a bad thing, it's just has an intensity to it here, which it says intensity and letting go, but letting go of stuff that we need to let go of. Or take what resonates here, Devea. This could be part of your journey if there's a karmic relationship that energetically is still something that you need to work on releasing. Tell you what resonates there. Because then we have this mirror card, which is kind of like a continuation of that karmic energy, mirroring each other. So it bringing in some self-reflection, this person, some introspection, opportunity for healing here with inner wounds. So there's an intensity to this relationship. Or, you know, tell what resonates. Is this what is in the process of what do we need to release this in order to bring this person through? Or this person could be the karmic relationship. Interesting, interesting. These oracle cards are interesting. Hey country, this is, I have your question here. So I'm planning a romantic relaxation day for my DJ, Lovely, and I. It's supposed to be a surprise. How will everything go? Okay. It's a new person, says Devea. Okay. Well, watch out for them. That chivalrous person. This is for country about this day. Now, I don't do, well, I don't normally do this kind of reading, but I'd be interested to see what comes through. Sometimes these cards, you know, all of the readings that I do, it tends to sometimes go deeper, if that makes sense. It might not. It might just keep it light, but sometimes my readings have a tendency to go deep. Oh, inner peace, peaceful. You are enough. See what the other cards are. Oh, lovely. Blissful. Soul connection, partnerships. You will be deepening this connection. Ah, so many things remind me of you. So it's kept it really loving, and which is very reflective of this connection, I think, country, about, and you're doing this loving thing. This is how it will be received. It will help deepen the continuation of deepening this connection. And it's nice to stop, isn't it? And take these moments just to love each other, spend some time with each other. Someone said, I was watching something the other day, and they went for like a relaxation day, and they were going through a really tough time, and they said, like, it's important to, you know, even all the struggles that we have going on, you know, maybe to do with work or life, you know, the stresses that are kind of there. And they said, it even in hard times, it's nice to remind each other to be soft, and that you can still have moments of softness in challenging times, whatever those challenges would be. And I feel like your intention here, this is you planning that day, you know, thinking of this idea, kind of making this space for you both. You are enough, that being kind of for you and for him, for them, sorry, and that mutual, you know, having you is enough. It feels like you're creating this kind of bubble. Lovely. And it will deepen this soulmate energy, this soul connection, partnership that you have, a soul contract, a life partner. And so many things remind me of you. It's just like bringing in this, feels very lovey-dovey energy, doesn't it? I think it will be exactly what you want it to be, country, and more. So you will really conjure up that kind of, that vibe. That's kind of the strongest picture for me. Yes, that's my goal, to allowing that space to just be soft. Yeah, exactly. Relax and not worry about carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. Yeah, beautiful, country. Beautiful. I'm glad you got that message. You know, sometimes when I pull these messages through, they don't always resonate or translate to other people. But yeah, that touched me when someone said that, and it was a reminder for me as well that even when things are tough, you know, life is tough, and that is sort of continuous, you know, the grind, but we can take moments, and you are creating a moment here where you can be soft. Beautiful, country. And I think that is that everyone. I think that is, oh, Tia Bia, if you're still here, my love. You may have had to go, but I am still here, Tia Bia, if you are. Oh, actually, you posted your question. You're very welcome, country. Thank you for that question. It brought through some lovely, brought through a lovely reading, which was nice to do. Tia, I've got your question here. Sorry. So Tia asks, last but not least, Tia, who has been very patient, asks what to expect from F the Gemini. Just wondering if this will go the distance. Sure thing. If it's worth it, or if the Leo will step up. Leo. Let's have a look at this Gemini. F the Gemini. Tia, are you a Scorpio? Just remind me. I feel like you're a Scorpio, if I'm remembering right. Tell me about this Gemini spirit. I don't really feel like I know this Gemini too well yet. Just getting to know each other energetically. Tee. What would he have to say? Let's see, what would the Gemini say about this connection? Get a... Yeah, Scorpio, Gemini. Feisty combination. Ooh, what a lovely card. I haven't seen this one too much. Emotional freedom. I'm going to see what the other cards say, see how this all ties in. We've had this so much today, which is good. It's a really positive card. Unconditional love, giving and receiving, fairness and love, affection returned. Very promising. Maybe do you feel, you know, that there is a lightness with Geminis as well, just being air signs. You know, they are fun to be around. They are good fun. Quick-witted. And this emotional freedom sort of talks about maybe being able to be yourself as well. There being space. There isn't heaviness here, okay? It feels like we are still, there is potential here. We have the wisdom of the owl, which is in the picture. The hare meets the unicorn, which is interesting. A unicorn being, to me, like a unique kind of experience. Yeah, it's fun, adventurous, exactly that kind of, there is an open space kind of energy. Like there is just that sense of space. that I can feel. So it's a bit like that you could maybe do some, maybe that adventurous spirit as well will be contagious, yeah, and that you will do things that maybe you wouldn't normally do. A kind of unique experience as well. But then it is nicely grounded by this unconditional love, giving and receiving, fairness and love. We will be together again. There was no false start here, was there? Just not sure if it's giving just friendship vibes or something we could build on. Okay. I'm going to pull one tarot card because I'm nosy. I mean, this blowing kisses doesn't, you know, suggest something deeper, but tell me, Spirit, more. About this Gemini. Death card. Endings, new beginnings, transformation. Maybe that this Gemini, I think, nonetheless, okay, so maybe let's not fixate on the signs, you know, the flags look green here, okay? And the death card to me touches on more like what you're going through. There is an ending of the old, there is a transformation happening, wherever you land here, yeah, whatever the future lands on the other side of this death card. Be that with the Leo, be that with Gemini or someone new. I feel like, am I right, is the Aries out of the picture? Maybe not fully, but I know that it was waning. But I feel like that this Gemini is part of this transformation now anyway, and to enjoy this energy. Doesn't just feel like actually I'm going to pull one of these. I mean, I would say this is just me more than the cards, but I mean, males in general don't tend to give attention and spend a lot of time, you know, if it's not a deeper interest, okay? If you know what if you're picking up what I'm putting down there. Maybe they've been through their own journey. It's time for me to heal now. Heal like with you. So yeah, I'm just gonna stick with that this is healing for you. It's healing for them. It feels like something that can be enjoyed. There is the potential here because we have giving and receiving. We do have unconditional love, which obviously would come in the future. We're not talking about now, but affection returned. It does have a playfulness to it, which is okay. It doesn't mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that this isn't something to build on. That is the nature of Geminis as well. That how they kind of operate a lot as well. Lightheartedness, adventure, fun, playfulness, okay? Enjoy this emotional freedom that will come from this connection. And wherever it ends, like as in, is that doesn't feel like the priority at the minute of where this lands. It will help you, it will be healing, and it will help you through this transformation and difficult time. Be that either just through this distraction in a way, or the potential that it could deepen, but it's not going to cause more pain. It's going to bring lightness and happiness and distraction. So embrace it at the moment if you can for what it is. It's a bit like that Hanged Man energy which we had for you before in the last reading, I think, to you, where it was like there wasn't any kind of drastic action on your side. It was more about being able to just enjoy what you can now. As I kept hearing, I remember the dust needs to settle. So I'll leave it at that. But the energy feels nice, so I wouldn't resist it. I wouldn't reject it, yeah? Don't close yourself off to that. If there's some fear here, maybe what it will be, try to look away from that. Okay, I'm going to end the live there. Thank you for everyone who came, that joined, for your questions. Let me know if you still do enjoy these. I think everyone's left apart from Tia, but anyone who's rewatching this, let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this love oracle, if you want this to continue as planned on a weekly session, if you prefer the tarot. I think people enjoy this, but getting feedback is always good. I will be back on Friday. That's already up. Again, if you want to book for that, get on the list. You can already do that. But wishing everyone love and light for the rest of the day, rest of the evening, wherever you may be. And I hope to see you Friday. You're very welcome, Tia. Take care, guys.